So the verse is Yadi eso parata devi maya vaisaradi matihi sampanna eveti vidur mahimni sve mahiyate. So if you see, this verse is saying Yadi eso parata devi. Yadi is if, however, and that's a very important if. If, however, Yadi esa uparata devi. Yadi yeso parata devi maya vaisaradi matihi sampanna eveti vidur mahimni sve mahiyate. Basically, after the if, there are two conditions. Eso parata devi, means if this has subsided. Basically, the word uparata, it is found in Bhagavad Gita. This verse, very famous verse from 6th chapter, 20th verse, where Krishna says, Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. So that word uparamate also has the similar meaning as uparata, similar root. Uparamate means cease, because one feels transcendental happiness. So Yadi eso parata devi. So here it is referring to uparata, if it subsides. What subsides? If for some reason, if Yadi, however, if it subsides, what subsides? Devi Maya. If Devi Maya, the illusory energy subsides, and then what happens? Maya Vaisaradi Matihi. The word Vaisaradi is also used quite often in our Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. One instance is in the 7th canto, there is a mention of this word by Prahlad Maharaj, where he is saying, Bhavatam api bhuyan me yadi shraddhate bachah vaisaradi dhi shraddhatah stri balanam chame yatha. So the word vaisaradi, there it is translated by Prabhupada as of the most expert, or in relation with the Supreme Lord. Now we use the word visharada. Visharada is an expert. So vaisaradi, of the most expert, or in relation with the Supreme Lord. So this verse 7717 is actually a very interesting verse. This is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj to his demoniac friends, where he's saying, if you just simply have faith in what I am saying, it doesn't matter, in what age you are, in what body you are, Stri Balanam Chame Yatha, you can still get the highest knowledge. If you just hear with faith, Yadi Shraddhate Vachaha, Vaisaradi Dhi Shraddhataha, Sri Balanam Chame Yatha. So Yadi Esho Parata Devi Maya Vaisaradi Matihi. So Vaisaradi is talking about that knowledge which is the most important. So Yadi, if, however, if somehow the Devi Maya, the external energy becomes uparata, becomes subsided, or it stops acting on living entities. Yadi eso parata devi, and Maya Vaisaradi Matihi Sampanna Eveti Bidur. Sampanna means one becomes enriched. Sampanna Eveti Bidur. Bidur is referring to knowledge, being cognizant of. So if the external energy subsides, and if the living entity becomes enriched with knowledge, then what will happen? He becomes at once enlightened with self-realization. He becomes enlightened with self-realization. Enlightenment, Prabhupada has used the word matihi. Vaisaradi matihi, enlightened with self-realization. And thus becomes situated in his own glory. Mahimni swe mahiyate. He becomes situated in his own glory. Mahiyate, to be situated in, and mahimni, in the glories. Very important verse, very nice verse. If we break it down further, the translation, there are 4 things. If the illusory energy subsides, this is a verb, subsides, uparamate or esho uparate. If the illusory energy subsides and it's not an or. And the living entity becomes fully enriched with knowledge. Sampanna vidur. If he enriched with knowledge, both are required. If the illusory energy subsides and the living entity becomes fully enriched with knowledge, can it happen on its own? No. By the grace of the Lord. The grace of the Lord is required for the illusory energy to subside and the living entity to become fully enriched with knowledge. So if it is a if, then there is something which follows. And what follows is just amazing. Then he becomes at once enlightened with self-realization and thus becomes situated in his own glory. The glory of the spirit soul is unlimited, but just because of our forgetfulness of that glories, we are struggling in this material world. But if somehow the illusory energy subsides and the living entity becomes fully enriched with knowledge by the grace of the Lord, then he becomes at once enlightened with self-realization. He'll become enlightened with self-realization and thus becomes situated in his own glory.